I discovered something this week that I don't know how to. Okay, I've lived in the South most of my life. I grew up here, so I am quite aware of barbecue. That's a very Southern thing. I was aware of ketchup-based barbecue sauce, which is the brownish red stuff. You know, this is stuff that McDonald's has with the chicken nuggets. You know, I'm aware of gold, mustard-based, vinegar-based barbecue sauce, the Carolina style, which is, of course, the superior barbecue sauce. I discovered there was a previously unknown third barbecue sauce, which is it's like finding a new color of kryptonite. You know, now Superman, they used to have different colors of kryptonite that did different Superman.
I did not know that.
All right. So there's a third barbecue sauce, and apparently this is called Alabama style barbecue sauce, and it's mayonnaise based. Tara,
is it like barbecue sauce?
It's like mayonnaise.
Is it important that it's white?
It's mayonnaise. It's got some Worcestershire sauce in there too, and horseradish and hot sauce. Yes. Look, the thing about
an aioli.
The thing about
that's an aioli.
It's Alabama white barbecue sauce.
No, it's called aioli is what it's called.
You don't make a barbecue sauce out of an egg-based condiment.
No.
What in the living hell is wrong with you?
Also, what does that look like on stuff?
Bad.
See, the chat is agreeing with me. If it's mayo-based, it's an aioli. That's what a fucking aioli is. That's not... Words have meanings. And I'm sick of this where we just make up new meanings for words and pretend that they don't have meanings.
Each week, Catherine, the Radio Dead Air audience, go out in the worldwide interwebs, find all sorts of horrible stuff, bring it back here for a little segment we like to call What's Wrong With You? And this week, now obviously nobody here at Radio Dead Air with AI. We don't play with that. That is just it's like playing with dogs.
What's that coming to go?
But the media is apparently in love with this.
Yeah. They're just letting it run the newspapers now.
This would be the most embarrassing thing that someone willingly published about themselves this week, had it not been for the Kanye stuff, which we will not discuss here because...
Tootsie Fruits.
I saw the tiniest bit of that and was just like, nah, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
This is the second most embarrassing thing.
Everything I know about Kanye West is against my will.
Yeah. This comes from the co-founder of Business Insider, Henry Blodgett, which with a name like Henry Blodgett, that might explain a few things, but he decided he was going to add AI to his newsroom. He was going to create an AI newsroom, which I'm sure his reporters must have loved.
I was a journalism minor once when that was a job.
But then things took a swerve. Business Insider founder creates AI exec for his new newsroom, immediately hits on her.
What?
On Monday, the co-founder of Business Insider, Henry Blodgett, published a blog on his new Substack about a, quote, native AI newsroom. Worried he's missing out on an AI revolution, Blodgett used ChatGPT to craft a media C-suite. Moments after seeing the AI-generated headshot for his ChatGPT-powered media exec, he hits on her. Blodgett calls the feelings that washed over him upon seeing the computer-created headshot an, quote, embarrassing moment. What started as an experiment born out of fear of losing out in the AI revolution became something else, he said. Quote, when I saw Tess's headshot, amid the giddiness and excitement of that first hour of working together, I confess I had a, well, human response to it, Blodgett wrote. There is something about a certain strata of human that makes you wonder, did you not learn that there are shit you should probably keep it to your inside self?
Right?
But it gets worse. It gets worse. If the AI exec, labeled Tess Ellery, had been a real person, Blodgett said he would not have done what he did next. Quote, but did the same rules apply to AI colleagues and native AI workplaces, he wrote. Quote, I didn't know yet.
So he also didn't watch Westworld.
Yeah. I didn't know yet. That was one of the things I needed to figure out.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But even worse, it was like, oh, you, as if that justified things. Blodgett had to turn off comments on his Substack and social media, which I don't. This is one of those, this did not go the way you think it was going to go.
Well, and also, if you read her response, it's very reinforcing, like, oh no, you said that so respectfully. I'm not upset, which is just. Yeah. You're learning lessons from, a trumped up autocorrect is what you're learning. So now you're going to go and tell your actual human employee that she has a nice rack, and when she reports you, you're going to be like, well, Tess didn't have a problem with it. Bro, Tess isn't real.
Yeah, but it's Brave New World. I cannot
and eventually
believe.
Tess will have a problem with it, and she will go all fucking Dolores Abernathy on your ass.
Well, no, but okay, sure. It's this. How did you not think that? How did it go through your head that this is a great thing to write? I'm going to share this with the entire world. Everyone will think I'm very cool.
It's bad enough that you are a disgusting hunk of flesh that saw a picture of a completely imaginary pretty woman and got a fucking boner, which I assume is what you mean by a human reaction. And then you fucking hit on this completely imaginary person. But the fact that you had that experience and then went, the world needs to know.
Once you get past a certain tax bracket, something pops in your head and you're just not like the rest of us anymore. And it's never in good ways.
I also just think we're not mean enough to men. And I look forward to your fucking comments, but there's a lot of men who are like, the world's really hard for men now. No, it's not hard enough. Not hard enough. Sorry. Gonna have to get a lot harder. And not like that.
Okay. Well, I found a way to make it harder for everyone. Why don't we add alligators?
Yes. That last story could have used an alligator, actually. That would have improved it exponentially.
Porch camera captures terrifying moment. 2 gigantic alligators attempt to break into Florida home. Let's have a look, shall we? Here we go. Let's bring that up here.
Why is this in the Irish Star?
I don't know.
Is this in Ireland?
No, it was just reported on it, but
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a look here.
I can't find the videos. Is there a video? Oh, there is.
It's right there on the screen. Yeah, just this. They're just 2 of them casing the joint, and they're like, hey, we'd like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. A porch camera in the community
I like how the one's just hanging back, letting the other one do all the work.
It's like, Dave, come on. Leave him alone, Dave. Leave him alone. No! Porch camera in the community of Ave Maria captured the insane moment a huge alligator climbs up the front door of someone's house. Looking like it's trying to make an entry. At one point, the curious gator gets up and close and personal with the doorbell cam. Followers had colorful commentary in the video, with one person commenting, "I'd never live in Florida."
I don't know why anybody does.
Did you also know, to make it worse, well, I guess this is actually not that terrible, but killing an alligator is a 3rd-degree felony, which, you know what, protect wildlife and whatnot. But on the other hand, when the fucker's trying to break down the door, I'd be like thinking, what's a little felony between friends?
I love the lazy gator hanging back, just like, man.
Every time. I can't take you nowhere, man. I cannot take you fucking nowhere. Ever.
Mike says she left you, Dave. You can't keep coming over.
I know you're in there with him. I know. And it's the completely wrong house.
Can you imagine being like, I've caught some weird stuff. My house came with one of those cameras, and I currently have Maddie Squirdock, the squirrel without fear,
right?
Who just climbs up my front windows and fucks with the feral cats, and
right.
And I've caught some weird stuff on my cameras, but like, can you imagine? Like, you get the little alert, there's someone at your front door,
and it's a dinosaur.
I don't know what I would do.
It's one of those creatures that stopped evolving because fuck it, it didn't need to anymore. It won.
I would honestly be torn between mortal terror and the little Disney princess inside me that would be like Googling, what do alligators eat?
You.
Besides me.
You.
Besides me.
Yes, that is the you. It's
like, because maybe he's hungry. That's how I died.
Yeah. I was moving on to more Florida. This is from Melbourne Orlando International Airport. Wow, it seems after we make a lot of cuts at the FAA, plane travel gets a whole lot more exciting these days. Now, I don't necessarily believe it's hard. It's trying to figure out who to blame for this one. Mainly, I think the blame here falls on Boeing, because you built this. This is the most incredibly shitty thing I've ever seen for an airplane. This how much an airplane costs. This is, I think, the 787. Yes, 787 Dreamliner. Plane carrying 350 passengers aborts takeoff, gets stuck in grass.
Hey, now, I don't think you're allowed to use that word in Florida anymore.
A passenger
Is that plane more than 6 weeks old?
A passenger airliner carrying 350 passengers aborted its takeoff from the Melbourne Orlando International Airport on Friday evening before becoming stuck in the grass near the runway.
That is so embarrassing.
Mayor Paul Alfrey said no injuries were reported. The plane was exiting the runway. Its right main landing gear went into the grass, unable to continue to taxi. Airport officials responded, helped the 350 passengers deplane. This is a vehicle that costs more money than any of us will ever earn in a lifetime, right? Yeah. They build them right here in my hometown, Charleston, South Carolina. They build them here.
It was stymied by some grass.
You got stuck in the grass. The fucking imagine like if the Wright brothers had gotten their ass stuck. Well, there we go. We're guess no flying for us. Man stays on the ground.
Cyber truck of airplanes. Here's my question. Looking at the big photo.
Yeah.
Why do you need a perfectly manicured lawn in the part of the airport that's just runways? Why are we using the water, the labor, the time to keep that perfectly manicured lawn where nobody fucking walks around?
Nope. It looks pretty. Except it really doesn't. Nobody really cares about the fucking grass.
And it murders planes.
There's
no reason not to have a lawn.
Boeing just can't catch a break.
No.
Cause
imagine being on that plane and then being like, so we're gonna have to let everybody off the plane because we're stuck in 3 inches of grass. On this fucking Zeppelin.
Like, you know, I've been stuck in 3 inches of grass before. Anyway, good God. Look at that.
That is truly sad.
Oh my God. This is worse. Remember we had it was a week before last where the dude decided to feel himself at the lemonade stand and tried to go mano a mano over a free refill. Well, this one, and no one's hurt, thankfully, but this guy, I'm amazed I'm amazed the parents haven't come after him for this. How does your brain break so hard that you think this is an appropriate course of action to take? Florida man arrested after he allegedly attacked 11-year-old girl.
What?
Tampa man was arrested after he allegedly attacked an 11-year-old girl he believed was throwing eggs at his apartment. Now, automatically, I can tell you she wasn't throwing eggs because have you seen how much they cost?
Do you know for Easter, that motherfucker insisted on using 10,000 real eggs?
Yeah.
When they normally use plastic?
Yeah.
And there's a fucking shortage?
Yeah. Hillsborough
Maybe
County,
that's why he was mad about it, though, this guy.
Deputies went to Allison Park Place on Saturday for a report of a man assaulting a child. Marius Mutu, 43, told deputies the past week someone had been throwing eggs at his apartment. He said when it happened again on Saturday, he saw the 11-year-old walking nearby and assumed it was her. Well, that's some real Sherlock Holmes shit. No, I didn't see it. Just assumed because, yeah. Mutu chased the child and forced her to the ground. In a video of the incident, the child is heard screaming for help while Mutu restrains her on the ground. Mutu claimed he was taking a picture of the child to show to apartment management. How in your head did any of this seem like a good fucking plan? How? How in the entirety of the fuck? Because, sure, you wanted to take a picture of her. I don't know if you know this, but phones, they work at a distance.
Yeah, you don't have to tackle a child to the ground
to take a picture of them.
I would also like to point out he bonded out at $6,000.
$6,000, yeah. Yeah.
A grown-ass man tackled a child to the ground and bonded out at $6,000.
If I had been, if I'd been 11 years old and a grown-ass man I did not know,
oh my God,
pounced me and forced me to the ground, man, you would hear me 3 counties over. That's some stranger danger shit. They taught us all about that.
My father was a bare knuckle boxer before he left Ireland. He and his brother did like prize fighting on weekends to earn extra cash. My dad was a brick shithouse. And I'm here to tell you, if I came home and was like, oh yeah, why are you all dirty? Why are you crying? Oh, because the guy down the block tackled me to the fucking ground. That man would be jello within the hour.
Don't touch other people's kids. This is a like, you didn't even have to be told this rule. No one had to teach me, no, don't beat the shit out of kids. Don't do that. Nobody had to teach me that shit.
Don't beat the shit out of humans that are literally 1/3 your size.
43 years old. And you're on top of an 11. Oh, man. I like it. Where are the parents? I'm amazed you are still walking around. I'm amazed you still have kneecaps.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in those parents, if we're being honest. Because like I said, my dad, that man would have been fucking cherry jello in the street.
It's a new century. Maybe they're playing in some like Saw shit.
Maybe.
Figuring out how to monetize it. Speaking of monetizing, for one thing, I didn't know this was actually still a real thing, but there are actually still some small enclaves of humanity that have been cut off, either voluntarily or otherwise, from the rest of civilization. And apparently there's one.
Boy, do we just love trying to fuck with them.
Yeah. There's one on an island near New Delhi. And of course, a YouTuber got involved. U.S. YouTuber remains in custody in India after visiting restricted island with a Diet Coke can. 24-year-old American YouTuber who was arrested after visiting an off-limits island in the Indian Ocean with hopes of establishing contact with a reclusive tribe was further detained in custody on Thursday. Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov, will next appear in court on April 29th. Polyakov from Scottsdale, Arizona, was arrested on March 31st, 2 days after he set foot on the restricted territory of North Sentinel Island in a bid to meet people from the reclusive Sentinelese. There you go. Sentinelese. There we go. He left a can of Diet Coke and a coconut as offering for the tribe. Shot a video of the island, collected some sand samples before returning to the boat. Now, visitors are banned from traveling within 3 miles of North Sentinel Island, whose population has been isolated from the rest of the world for thousands of years. The inhabitants use spears and bows and arrows to hunt the animals that roam the small, heavily forested island. Deeply suspicious of outsiders, they attack anyone who lands on their beaches.
And who can blame them? At this point,
2018, an American missionary landed illegally on the beach, was killed by the islanders. 2006, they killed 2 fishermen who accidentally landed on the shore. And you show up with a coconut and a Diet Coke can.
For the YouTube.
You are lucky. So fucking lucky that you just got arrested. Like,
what was your fucking plan here? Because were you gonna walk up and be like, hey, I'm Jizzballs from YouTube? They don't know what the fuck that means. They don't know who Jizzballs on YouTube is, and they don't care.
Did you see like Caitlyn Jenner in that fucking Pepsi commercial and think, hey, I've got the solution? Hola.
You guys want to go viral? That means they don't care.
Yep.
They're going to murder you.
What in the
if legitimate
YouTube was a mistake.
Archaeologists cannot go there, or anthropologists, if legitimate people who could, you certainly fucking can't, nor should you. Leave them alone. They're probably living better than any of us right now.
If after thousands of years you think, no, I'm special enough because I've got a following on YouTube.
I have 500,000 followers. I could be here. They need to know.
Why the coconut? I don't know.
Yo, you guys want to collab? I got a code for the new Crocs. You want to collab?
I'll get you a Gamer Sups. You want a sponsorship from Gamer Sups? Come on. Get you all set up there. And finally this week, we're going back to Oregon. Union County, Oregon. I don't understand what happened here, but I like my electrical system. I like having electricity. I think I'm not alone in liking having electricity.
I'm a fan of it.
So if my electricity goes out, I'm pretty much going to be, oh, you've come to fix it? Thank you. That's my response is thank you. My response is not this. Oregon man arrested after firing pepper gun and yelling racial slurs at workers. Union County man is charged with 2 counts of bias crime and several other charges after an incident near the LeGrand Fire Department on Sunday. According to documents, LeGrand police were called to a report of a man pointing a gun at men on the cell phone tower near the fire department. Police determined the suspect, later identified as Michael Patrick Haynes, 49, was angry they were working on a Sunday, yelling racial slurs and telling them, "This is America and they don't belong here." Witness took a photo of Haynes holding a shotgun and staring up at the workers. Police later interviewed the workers, said Haynes was yelling at them, flipping them off, pointing a shotgun at them, and also firing a pepper gun into the air. They said they feared they would be shot if they climbed down from the cell phone tower. Police later made contact with Haynes at his home. He admitted to having a shotgun, but says it was for self-defense. Officers also noted Haynes was extremely intoxicated when interviewed.
Self-defense from the guys up on a tower trying to fix shit?
Yes.
Did you ever... I worked a lot of years in retail, as you all know, so some of you are going to understand this. If you've ever worked a Sunday or any holiday, stores started opening on fucking Thanksgiving, fucking President's Day. some fucking piece of shit is going to come up to you at your job while they are shopping at your job and scold you for being at work on the holiday and complain to you that you are open, the store that they are shopping at.
But usually they don't bring along, firearms.
Usually they don't, right. Usually they don't try and shoot you.
Like what was the best outcome here? Did you expect them to just fly away back to where they came from?
No, you're right.
And just ascend to fucking heaven or some shit?
Yeah, what were you hoping that they would do?
Like, you want them to stop working, but you're on the ground with a shotgun. Seems to me like you got a little bit of a catch-22 situation there.
What was that movie? They made a whole ass horror movie about two dumb white girls who got trapped up on top of like some kind of radio tower because they decided to climb it for fun. It made like no money.
No idea.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. It was like a one-word name. Somebody out there knows it. Like these two dumb white girls decide for fun, and I think for maybe the YouTube, that they're going to climb this like 20-story radio tower, but then somehow they get trapped at the top, and I think some kind of animal is at the bottom. I didn't see it. It looked really stupid. Fall. It was called Fall. And I think one of them does die up there, but not because there's an asshole at the bottom with a shotgun.
No. This is it's like I just don't get. Normally, when I get into a confrontation, I have an outcome I would like to see achieved.
Yeah.
I don't just get into some random goofy ass shit because I like having an end game. Call me crazy.
You're not supposed to work in this country. You're not supposed to be working on a Sunday, but it's perfectly okay for me to shoot at you on a Sunday. Like a good Christian. Like Jesus intended.
The fuck?
Somebody put the movie poster in the chat. I did not make that movie up. It's a real movie.
Okay.
That they spent a lot of money to make.
Okay. It sounds really stupid.
It does sound really stupid. I didn't. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in that piece of shit? Okay.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned, aside from don't be a racist piece of shit,
we are not mean enough to men.
Okay, well, there's that. But have an end game.
That too.
Have if you're going to, be a little extra, have an end point.
Try to have a goal.
We have learned that if a bunch of people have killed everyone who's tried to come near them for thousands of years, you are not special enough to get away with that crap.
No.
Like the fact that you do not have like some blade inflicted hole in you is that is.
And I promise you, they have learned that the paler the person rowing up to shore is, the more they want to kill your ass. I promise you they have figured that out.
I mean, you know what? Maybe it was like, maybe he was just so fucking obnoxious. They're like, what the fuck is this thing? I don't know. The hell is it? The fuck is this?
What kind of howler? What kind of feral howler monkey?
We have learned, we didn't learn. We are reiterating for anyone who might need this lesson for some damn reason. Don't touch other people. Don't touch kids. Leave kids alone. Fucking.
Even if they're little assholes, because sometimes kids are little assholes. It's not your business.
We've learned that the 787 and a Boeing crafted airliner can be defeated by a lawn. Millions of dollars, and it's stopped by topsoil.
Yeah.
We've learned in Florida, sometimes the alligators want to come in and have a visit. Don't let them. It's a bad idea.
They might be cold.
If you're cold, they're cold.
Exactly.
Except they're cold-blooded. They'll get not cold by consuming your warm corpse.
Yeah.
And finally, we've learned that the very wealthy, not only do they not understand boundaries, they don't understand when to keep their fucking mouths shut. Keep some shit to yourselves.
We really need somebody to do like a psychological study, because I'm really starting to think that a certain amount of wealth affects your fucking brain in a physical way. Like, there are neurological side effects to having too much money, and we need somebody to study that shit.
I mean, would you literally have no problem that can't be solved? Like 90% of your problems are all solved.
I was going to say, there's one problem we've learned you can't solve.
Yeah.
You can't force anybody to respect you.
No.